I'm going live, and you are looking live at Sold Out Giants Stadium, where today the 16-0 New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Minnesota Vikings. Why the Minnesota Vikings 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all? Anybody going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? I greatly appreciate it. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much. Or anybody spends any time at all watching a replay of this, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, as I try to always do. Shoot my mouth off. Anybody got anything to say, just please feel free. Fire away. Throw it in the chat box. I usually check on the chat box like every 5-10 minutes or so. So anything that gets put in there, I try to respond to. I see it. As soon as I see it, I usually try to respond to it. So please feel free. Fire away. Throw away in the chat box. Before I get started, just want to bring up, anybody who wants to help support my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link, you click on it, takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. First one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third one is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. There's loyalty badges, which are pretty cool. Each loyalty badge is a Giants helmet. Now, the older the Giants helmet is, the longer you've been a supporter of my channel. There's also emojis. There's 4 emojis. Eventually, there will be a 5th emoji coming out. I had them made up on Fiverr. They're pretty cool. I get a kick out of them every time I look at them. You can use those emojis in the chat box or if you in a comment or whatever. I said they're pretty cool. So anybody who wants to help support my channel, once again, it would mean the absolute world to me. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button below and click on that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or I put out a video, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. And finally, also in the description box below, there's some links. They're Facebook links. There's one to a group, okay? And then there's 2 others to pages. Now, as of right now, the group, it's called, uniquely enough, it's called the Gridiron. It's a group. It's got over 1,900 members in there, okay? And I put stuff in there all the time, like every day. Usually I try 7 days a week to put new stuff in there, and at least 5 so posts every day I try to put in there. And not only do I put posts in there, but also the members put stuff in there as well too. There's always stuff going in there, right? I always try to spend at least half an hour to an hour pretty much every day, pretty much between the YouTube channel, the Gridiron, okay, and the Gridiron, the group, and then there's also another link in the description box. There's 2 other links. Both of them are to pages. The one on the bottom, okay, is it's called This Day in New York Giants Football History. All right. That one I'm not quite as involved in right now, but you can certainly click on it and like it and follow it. But between the YouTube channel, between the Facebook group and the Facebook page, it's taking up a lot of my time. Probably after the season's over with, I'll have more time to devote to the Facebook page, This Day in New York Giants History, and I'll get that one off and running. But the middle link, the middle Facebook link, is another page. It's called the Giants. It's called the Gridiron as well. All right. And in that one right now, we got 423 people who like it and over 1,200 people following it. I'm getting a lot of followers every day, a lot of followers. And it's the same thing. I spend probably about half an hour to an hour every day on the page. All right. And I'm the only one pretty much posting stuff in the page, right? So I always try to make sure I spend time in that one every day as well. But I don't like commingle. I mean, usually whatever I put in the group, I don't put in the page and so on. You know what I mean? So whatever, so basically the posts and everything are pretty much different in the Facebook page and the Facebook group. Right. So please click on the link, become a member of the Facebook group, and also go to the page and the Facebook page and like it and become a follower too. It'll be tons of stuff every day, new stuff every day that goes in there. You won't be disappointed. And as always, if you're not satisfied, you get your money back guarantee. All right, well, all that stuff said and done. Woo! All right, well, the Giants set or gave Tay Crowder his his wish. He tweeted that game is like, set me free. Now, of course, after this game was all over with, everybody's, kind of like, set me free. I mean, I guess you're not happy with what's going on. He said, oh, no, that's not what I meant. Oh, yeah, that's total bullshit. Well, let's see. This is from the Post. All right. I read it. Tay Crowder is free. Crowder's plummet down the inside linebacker depth chart with the Giants was finalized Tuesday when he was waived, potentially clearing a roster spot for Landon Collins to be signed off the practice squad. Cool. In 3 years, Crowder made 31 starts and really exceeded, his expectations as he was Mr. Irrelevant, in the 2020 draft. The last guy taken in the draft, right? The nickname for the last guy picked. After the surprise release of Blake Martinez, which is still to me is kind of a head scratcher. He's probably your best run stuffer. And what's the biggest problem we have on defense is stopping the run. And you let your best run stopper just go. We weren't paying him much, and you let him go. Kind of still scratching my head on that one. But after we let Blake Martinez go, Crowder became the Giants' top middle linebacker. All right. He remained a starter for the first 8 games before the Giants shifted toward a combination of Jalen Smith and rookie Micah McFadden on the inside. Now, Micah McFadden, for the most part, is going to get, the benefit of the doubt pretty much because why? Well, because he is Shane and Dable's draft pick. Tay Crowder is not. Tay Crowder came along for the ride. He was along with the team. All right. He was, right. They did, they're looking at Mike McFadden as possibly a mainstay on the Giants team, if not a solid starter, hopefully a healthy contributor. All right. Tay Crowder, they're not looking at him like that. All right. So Micah McFadden, once he got in, you know what I mean? It's Micah McFadden's job to kind of lose. All right. So Crowder's role gradually decreased until he played 0 snaps against the Commanders the first time we played the Commanders on December 4th. After the game, he tweeted, "Free me." Yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay. The words widely were interpreted as asking to be released, which Crowder later said, no, that was not the case, and just pointed to the desire to help his teammates win. Yeah, that's total bullshit, buddy. Total bullshit. See, Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff can really be a nice thing. It'll also be your worst enemy too. Okay. And you gotta know that. You gotta know that. I mean, if you're Lawrence Taylor, okay, and you're not happy and you can tweet free me, yeah, the Giants going to step up and, what's going on, Lawrence? What is there a problem? What can we do for you? Right? When you're Tay Crowder, okay, I'm going to go over some of his stats. And when you're Tay Crowder, and I'm going to show you some of these stats, that's the last thing you want to be doing. The last thing you want to be doing. I mean, somebody might pick him up, but I mean, right? I mean, I don't know how long he would have been with the Giants. The Giants certainly might have released him soon, maybe after the season or something like that. But, that's the last thing you want to be doing. Crowder said he apologized to head coach Brian Dable for creating distraction in the locker room. Not much changed, however. Crowder was a healthy scratch last game and now is on the waiver wire. right? I mean, it just, yeah, I mean, just. So let me go over here. Where are we here? I got about 1,300. 1,300. There we go. All right, here we go. All right, now Tay Crowder. All right, this. I mean, his missed tackle rate is 23.7%. He played. Let's see, pretty much. All right. Well, he missed one game. We played against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Week 13, he was a scratch against the. He didn't play against the Commanders. He played against the Eagles. Had pretty much not a very good game. His tackling once again was not very good. His missed tackle rate was 100%. He apparently had one chance at a tackle and he missed it. All right. And then once again, he didn't play against the Commanders on Sunday night, and now boom, gone. Okay. He had, according to PFF, okay, PFF, they have him down as having 28 tackles and 17 assisted tackles for a grand total of 45. And then he missed 14 tackles. So out of a possible 59 tackle opportunities, he missed 14 of them, right? Which winds up being almost like a quarter, almost basically one out of every 4 tackle opportunity he winds up missing, which is ungodly, unacceptably, ungodly pathetic. Okay, 23.7%. I mean, he's grading out, according to Pro Football Focus, 29.6. His run defense is 28.2. His tackling is at 29.2. His pass rush isn't bad. It's 52, but I mean, his coverage grade is a 45.7. I mean, but I mean, when you got numbers like that, I mean, you can't be talking. I mean, according to Pro Football, I mean, his grades are just. He did lead the team in tackles last year with 131. All right, but let's see. Do we have that missed tackle? I mean, actually, his last year's missed tackle rate was 8.7. Okay, which okay, it's a lot better than 23.7, right? But for his career, his missed tackle rate is 13.9%, basically 14%, which is not acceptable. His first year, he graded out. He got hurt that year. Okay, he did have the one. He had he scored a touchdown against. Actually, at the time, it was the Washington football team, which wound up being, I think, the winning score because the Giants wound up beating them by a point. Right. So without Tay Crowder's touchdown, we would have lost that game. Right. But according to PFF, he was at 36.4. He graded out his first year. Second year, last year, he graded out at 29.1. This year, he's at 29.6. I mean, just, he might make some tackles here or there, but I mean, it's just, when you got to keep your mouth shut, and hopefully this will be a lesson for some of the other guys out there, right? I said, if you're a star, if you're Aaron Donald, maybe Tom Brady or somebody, maybe you can do a little tweeting or something like that. But when you're Tay Crowder, you just shut your freaking mouth and you be happy you got a uniform you got on. Just shut your freaking mouth. I mean, holy cow. I mean, somebody might pick him up, but as the first 3 years, he's not done particularly well. I mean, he has his issues. Okay. And this year has been no different. So bye-bye. Now, the thing is, all right, the Giants, it's going to be interesting to see, okay, because in the upcoming draft, all right, there's some guys, it seems like there's no real boomers out there, right? I mean, I'm sure the Giants can wind up picking up, obviously getting somebody. Now, if you're like the Walter Football, I mean, they're all different, right? Walter Football, NFL Draft Buzz, was it also PFF? They all have their own. Trenton Simpson seems to be a good name that I'm seeing at the top of the board. But I mean, he's like PFF has him. He's from Clemson. Okay, he's like an inside linebacker. They have him at the PFF, the 26th ranked prospect. Okay, the Giants coincidentally are drafting, I think, right now 23rd or 24th. So he, would be available. I mean, according, possibly available. All right. And that's kind of odd. LSU has some guy. Okay. His name is BJ Ojulari. Interesting, huh? PFF has him. He's from LSU, the 27th ranked prospect. Okay. He's an inside linebacker. Let's see. I said, who we got here? NFL Draft Buzz. They got Trenton Simpson. Trenton Simpson seems to be the top guy. They got linebackers here, but some of them are like outside linebackers, edge rushers. Henry Tutu, I believe, I guess how you pronounce it, from Alabama. He's a small guy, fast, right? Could be like maybe a sideline to sideline kind of guy, but he's not particularly big. Then there's another guy, Noah Sewell. I don't know if he's related to Sewell because he's from Oregon, playing at Oregon. I don't know if he's related to Sewell, who the Lions picked as the tackle a couple years ago in the draft. So he's an inside linebacker. He's 253 pounds. He's from Oregon. Okay, you got Overshone. Looks like from linebacker from Texas. He's a small guy. He's only 224 pounds. He's quick. All right. Let's see. Walter Football. They got Tutu is like their number one guy from Alabama, inside linebacker, 6 foot tall, 230. They got he possibly going to first or second round. Then they got this guy another Jack Campbell, inside linebacker from Iowa. He's a banger. He's 6'5", 243. He's a big guy. He's good at tackling. He's a lot of tackles he gets. Let's see. I mean, if you look here, I mean, against, this year against first game of the year, he got 12 tackles. Second game, he got 9. Then he got 10. Then he got 8. He got 11 tackles. He got 12 against Illinois, 9 against Ohio State, 11 against Northwestern, 7 against Purdue, 11 tackles against Wisconsin. So he's a tackling machine. All right. Then you got Trenton Simpson. Right. They got, he's the third-rate prospect. They got him possibly in the second to third round. Overshone from once again from Texas, possibly second to third round. Sewell, they got him. This is Walter Football. He's the 5th-rated inside linebacker from Oregon. He's in the second to third round. Right. Let's see. Baskerville, inside linebacker from LSU. He's a second to fourth. I mean, there's no really, phenomenal inside linebacker looks like coming out of college. I mean, maybe some decent prospects. There's also, looks like there's a couple guys. I mean, you got David as far as free agents, possible free agents. Okay. Deion Jones from Cleveland, inside linebacker. Levante David from Tampa Bay. Devin Bush, okay, from Pittsburgh. Anthony Walker Jr. from Cleveland. Let's see. Edmonds, Tremaine Edmonds from Buffalo. Right, to keep, he's let's see. Well, he's on his rookie deal. His market, he's making. Let's see. What's his market value? What do they think his market value is? $14 million. So Tremaine, but from Buffalo, right? So if anybody can get him over here, it might be Shane and Dable, right? But so he's a young dude. I mean, he's only 24 and a half years old. Okay. Right. Very, very good inside linebacker, right? But it's gonna cost you. Okay. Same thing. Anthony Walker Jr. He's only making, let's see what they have his market value as here. Oh, only $4 million. Okay, not bad. So I mean, there's going to be some guys out there, right? I don't know if there's going to be anybody, bowling people over, I mean, so the Giants will certainly have opportunities, obviously, to upgrade the inside linebacker position. without question. But I mean, it looks like there's nobody really elite. Okay, like maybe in the draft coming out. From what I'm seeing. Oh, there you, Ronnie. Hey, we got to try and win this one too. You got that right. Oh yeah, I'm going to go over this in a minute. Got some cool stuff here. Shows you the Giants, their chances of winning or getting a playoff berth if they win or if they lose or whatever like that. So we got some cool stuff coming up over here. I want to go over that in just a minute. But I mean, the Giants, it doesn't seem like there's anybody out totally outstanding. I think if in the first round, it seems like they, I can't see them maybe picking one of these guys. They might go someplace else and obviously take the best player available, which might be a wide receiver or somebody else. Hell, could be somebody on a defensive line, right? Could be an offensive lineman or something like that. But I don't know if they're going to be taking a inside linebacker in the first round, but they're going to have to do something. Okay. It doesn't have to be a superstar. Anything would be pretty much like an upgrade, but they have to do something. They have to do something with the inside linebackers and the run game. They could certainly, I say, they could go cornerback in the first round, right? They could go, a wide receiver. They could go defensive line. You can't have too many edge rushers or too many pass rushers. They could go somebody defensive line, edge rusher, cornerback. There's a lot of ways they can go. I don't see them, they could, there's certainly somebody they can pick up, as I said, in free agency, right? But the one nice thing is like the inside linebacker position they have is really kind of weak. So almost anybody they add, okay, especially with a body of work, especially if you get a free agent, what he can do, right? Because he's got, drafting somebody, you look at the film, you're like, this guy's, I don't know, it's pretty good. He was a captain, he did it. Then he gets to the pros, and sometimes it's a little bit different. He's not quite as good as we thought he was. When you're in the pros, and the guy, especially some of these guys, I said like Tremaine Edmonds. Right, might be pretty special. You got like 3-4 years of a body of work. You see, what the guy can do, right? You know what his ability is, right? So you get him, right, and plug him in and right, let him go. Now, obviously, it's going to be a lot of people. Now, I'll tell you what, Buffalo is in a world of hurt next year for their salary cap. Okay, so to be able to try to re-sign Tremaine Edmonds, he's only making whatever. He's not making obviously a heck of a lot, and Spot Track has his value at about $14 million a year. I tell you what, Buffalo is going to have a hard time trying to re-sign him. Okay, very hard time. Because they're in a world of hurt for salary cap next season. All right, so Tremaine Edmonds, if we're looking to get like maybe one little nice solid free agent, get somebody from out there and bring him in. Maybe Tremaine Edmonds might be the guy. But I was also saying is that, we're kind of really hurting in the inside line. Just, against the run. Almost anybody you bring in going to be like of an upgrade, okay? But they got to address something. You certainly don't have to address it in the first round of the draft. I don't know if there's anybody really that good. So, but maybe look in the second or third round, maybe, right, to get another guy in there. All right. Also, let's not forget we got Darian B, who we haven't even basically seen. He had was doing decent in training camp. Okay, then he got hurt. So as I said, let's not forget we're going to get him back too. All right, but we don't have to worry about Jay Crowder anymore. All right, so which is a shame because I was always pulling for the guy because somebody, Mr. Irrelevant, he's played real well and all, but sometimes you just got to know when to shut your mouth. So it is what it is. But really nothing. Nothing against the guy, but you just got to know when to shut your mouth, right? All right, so now, next thing we got. I want to, let's see here. Boom. All right. Okay. All right, next thing here we got. I want to go over, let's see, the Giants, okay, the chances, okay, of the Giants. Well, first, let me go over the injuries here real fast. Actually, neither team is reporting a lot of injuries, which is good. Now, we got the guys who did not participate in practice on Tuesday, okay, Adoree Jackson and Shane Lemieux, all right. Just kind of hoping, praying for the best. Hopefully, somewhere along the line, we get Adoree Jackson back. And hopefully, somewhere along the line, we can get, especially by playoff time. Hopefully, we make the playoffs, right? We can get Xavier McKinney back. That would be freaking huge, right? Guys were limited in participation. Evan Neal, he had a shoulder. Kayvon Thibodeau with his elbow. Nick Vannett with his shoulder. And Leonard Williams with his neck. Give those guys lots of rest, right? And then the Vikings, they had Garrett Bradbury with his back. Okay. He did not participate. Limited participation was Brian Asamoah, ankle, and Eric Kendrick. He got a hip. Okay. And then Patrick Jones, the second, he was full participation. He was the outside linebacker. He has an illness. So, said Bradbury missed the practice on Tuesday after tweaking his back injury in a car accident on the way home from Saturday's game. So that's Garrett Bradbury. His back. He's their center. But so not a lot of guys, to talk about on the injury front. The Giants came out of the game against the Commanders, not too bad, not too badly banged up. So that's a huge plus. As I said, hopefully we can get Adoree Jackson back. Hopefully we make the playoffs, and hopefully by the time we get to the playoffs, we can get Bradbury back, and McKinley, Xavier McKinley, can get his hand in a position where they can either club it or totally heals, because you got to figure the playoffs is not for another month, right? We got another 3 games, and then we got the playoffs if we make the playoffs. So he's got another month. I mean, hopefully in another month, maybe he can heal. I don't know what the frick the guy did. I mean, what the frick did he do to his hand, huh? But, I mean, hopefully we can get him back, right? And I hope the same thing with Adoree Jackson. I mean, my God, how many weeks is he being out, right? So hopefully his knee. So we'll have to keep an eye. Brian Daboll said that his knee, obviously, he keeps saying the same thing. He's getting better. So, but we got this cool thing here. Right? You got the Giants here. Right? This is pretty cool. I just seen this. This is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like this. The chances of the Giants making the playoffs. Okay, so they got them right here. They basically they're at chance of making a wild card, 88%. The chances of being kicked out is 12%. Now, if the Giants win, okay, at the Vikings, the chances of making the playoffs goes up to 99%. If they beat the Vikings and the Colts, the chances is basically like 100%. 100% to make the playoffs. So if they win the next 2 games, they're in the playoffs. If they can beat the Vikings, just to beat the Vikings, their playoff goes from 80. Oh, they got 86%. I don't know what that. This thing is crazy. Hold on. They go up to about 99% if they can win this. All right. So basically, they're almost a shoe-in, okay, to make the playoffs. Okay. If they win this Saturday night. Now, there's also possibilities, all right, that the Giants' chances, okay, of making the playoffs, like if the Lions this week lose at the Panthers, the Giants' chance goes up to 92%. That's just if the Lions lose at the Panthers. If the Seahawks, see, this is cool. If the Seahawks on the road play the Chiefs, right, the Giants' chances goes up to like 89%. And that's a good possibility. Seahawks going on the road in Kansas City and losing, that's a good possibility. If the Commanders go on the road and lose to San Francisco, the Giants' chances is 90% that they'll make the playoffs. Okay. If the Commanders, the Seahawks, and the Lions all lose, the Giants go. It's not even more of the Giants win or lose against the Vikings. If the Lions lose to Carolina, the Commanders lose to the 49ers, and the Seahawks lose to the Chiefs, the Giants' chance of making the playoffs goes up to 94%. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So, I mean, the Giants, don't even necessarily have to wind up, winning the games. I mean, they can also hope the other teams just lose, right? The next week, if the Bears go in and beat the Lions, okay, the Giants' chances goes up to 93%. If the Browns go into Washington and beat the Commanders, Giants' chances goes up to 91%. If the Jets go in and when they go into Seattle and beat the Seahawks, the Giants' chances goes up to 92%. Right. So these are just like, the chances of just like one team losing, the Giants' chances go up. Right. Because basically we're worried about the Lions, the Commanders, and the Seahawks. And we only have to beat out two of those teams. Because between the Giants, the Commanders, the Lions, and the Seahawks, there's four teams there fighting for two spots. Right. So the Giants only need one of those two spots. Right. The Giants are the top seed out of all of those. The problem is if we wind up getting tied up with the Lions and the Seahawks, they got the head-to-head against us, which is the number one tiebreaker, right? So if we wind up getting tied up with those guys, right, we're going to get knocked out. But as I was saying, the Giants do not have to, necessarily win all these games. They can. Obviously you don't want to back into the playoffs, losing the last 7 games of the season. Woo, we're in the playoffs, baby. Here we go. No, you don't want that. You want to go in, obviously, on a roll. All right. But I'm saying that the cool thing is the last game of the season, right? The Lions, an indoor team, going on the road and playing in the frozen field, the frozen tundra Lambeau Field, right? If the Lions were to lose the last game of the season to the Packers, the Giants' chances goes up to like 89%. Goes from 88 to 89. All right. Not too much there, but let's say if the Rams somehow go into Seattle, all right, and beat the Seahawks, the Giants' chances goes up to 92%. Right. And then this year, this is where you might want to be a Cowboy fan, possibly, maybe, right? Well, you also want to think about this too, is if the Cowboys start losing and the Giants keep winning, the Giants could actually jump over the Cowboys because the Cowboys lost. They got 4 losses. The Giants only have 5, right? The thing is that the Giants got the tie, so the Giants only have 8 wins, right? It's where the Cowboys got 10. But it might come down to the last game of the season where you might want the Cowboys to beat the Commanders, right? And that the Cowboys beat the Commanders, the Giants' chances of just that one game, just the one game when the Cowboys beat the Commanders, the Giants' chances goes up 3% of making the playoffs, right? So it just doesn't necessarily mean the Giants have to win. Of course, you want them to win. Absolutely. You want, if we can win 2 out of these next 3, I mean, we could beat the Vikings and the Vikings and the Colts, the next 2. Oh, that would be phenomenal, right? And you want to also look at it too, is that there's a chance, a good chance, right, that the Eagles maybe rest some of their players. I don't think there's any way in HELL hockey sticks, okay, that they're going to rest the last game of the season all the players, all right, the whole game. Not happening, because that means they would play week 17. They would have off week 18. They'd have a first round bye, and then they come and play the playoffs. That would give them 3 weeks off. You don't want that. I mean, one of the problems is having 2 weeks off. One nice thing is it's nice to rest your players and all that. That's cool, but you want them in game mode. You don't want them. Okay, all right, we won. We wanted. We got the first round bye. We're going to play in 3 weeks from now. No, you don't want that. Okay, obviously you don't want the guys getting hurt, but taking too much time off is not the way to go. Right. So the last game of the season, quite possibly in Philadelphia, the Eagles don't need the game. I could see them playing the starters for like the first half or so. So therefore, putting the second stringers in the second half. We might be going up against Minshew mania because Jalen Hurts got hurt his throwing shoulder, right? Injured it, right, against the Bears. So we got Minshew mania, quite possibly, against the Cowboys this Saturday. But I'm saying, but the Eagles might put their second stringers in for the second half of the last game of the season against the Giants. So if the Giants can keep it kind of close in the first half and not go down, I know it was 21-0. Was it 24-0? But I know it was 21. I mean, we start going down 21-0, it's going to be tough. Okay. But if we can keep it close, just say, we wind up, we're behind, say, 13-10 at half. All right. Eagles put their second stringers in. We got our first stringers in there, right? We might have a chance of winning that one. Right. But you got to feel pretty good. I mean, if the Giants can win at least one, I want to say here, let me say, I said, home against the Colts. To win that one game, home against the Colts. And ain't no gimme. No gimmies in the NFL, period. But if we don't win against the Vikings, if we can come home, all right, and don't pull no freaking Lion bullshit, all right, where we got a Lion team with a losing record on the road to play, blah, blah, blah. No, you come home, you defend your turf, all right? You beat the freaking Colts, right? If we can win that one game, according to this stat here from New York Times, the Giants' chances, if we can win that one freaking football game, Giants home against the Colts in 2 weeks, our chances go up to 99% to make the playoffs. All right. Obviously, you don't want to lose to the Vikings, and you don't want to lose 2 out of your last 3 or whatever and back your way into the playoffs. But I mean, if that's the way it was, the way it is. If we lose 2 out of our last 3, so what would be? We're 8-5, would be 8-7, would be 9-7-1. Yeah, it's a lot better than what we were last year at 4-13. But I mean, if we can win just like one football game, our chances go up to like 99%. So that I thought that I seen this thing was pretty. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So I mean, the Giants, they're doing the driver's seat. All they got to do is pretty much win one game out of the last 3. And they don't, obviously said they don't have to win. They can have the other teams lose too, which is a good possibility. All the other teams could certainly lose a couple games, and the Giants might even back the way in, but that's not the way you want to get in the playoffs. So, but I mean, so got the good, really good chance, first time since 2016 that the New York Football Giants will be in the playoffs. And once we sew up, okay, the playoff berth, all right, we don't know where we're going or who we're playing. Once we saw after the 2017 season, anybody goes on a boat trip, okay, they just wave them. Anybody steps foot on a boat after we lock up a playoff berth, you just cut them. Anybody, okay. So hopefully we learn from the 2016 boat trip debacle, right? When we went on the road and we lost by like 1,352-1 against the Packers in the playoff game. Yeah. So hopefully we learn from that. But Giants have a very, very good chance to make the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Well, guys, it's been 38 minutes. Ronnie, thank you so much, Ronnie. Thank you. Anybody spend any time at all watching this? Once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You guys absolutely rock. Or anybody spends any time at all watching the replay of this, thank you once again so much. I greatly appreciate it. And as always, guys, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!